I'm standing for election as mayor because my family and business commitments are now at the point where I can give more back to the community that I love. I've already done so much for me and for my family. It has been suggested that because I have never served on council, my quest to be mayor is unrealistic. I've carefully considered that point. That was one of the first points that I thought of. And I've talked to community leaders, I've talked to politicians with whom I'll be working. What they have all said is that my experience in the community, as an example, chair of the library board and president of the Aurora Chamber of Commerce, and my business experience, my partner and I have a very successful international consulting firm working in the food industry. These elements more than compensate for what may be perceived by some as a lack of experience. And given the way politics has played out over the last 4 years in Aurora, I would suggest it's an advantage. Like many of you, Henny and I moved to Aurora because it provided a strong sense of community with shared values. We knew Aurora was a community we could own, where we could raise our family. A community where we could put down our roots, start a business, and watch them successfully grow and with great satisfaction. A community we could be proud to call our home. We would argue things still break. Our roads get plowed in the winter, our garbage is picked up regularly, and when we turn on the tap, there is clean, safe drinking water. But I believe that, as I feel, that Aurora is more than just a collection of the municipal services that are delivered. Aurora is our home. It's not a house, it's a home. Aurora is a community. It is our community. Unfortunately, the Aurora that we chose to move to has changed dramatically in the last 4 years, and it worries me. In the last 4 years, we have seen the fundamental values of community, leadership, and accountability erode. Change can be a great thing. It can be exciting. It draws people together. Or change can be negative, and it drives people apart. Change and assaults are basic community. Can you take a message for me, Rob? Change and assaults are basic community values. We see politicians hiding behind decision-making in closed doors and ignoring our wishes. Not change that sees a style of leadership that bullies staff and citizens alike has created a culture of fear in our town hall. This is the type of change that I feel compelled to speak out about. Residents and businesses are being asked to bear the weight of increased taxes. Your taxes have gone up, your community service levels have not. A lot of that is due to the fact that we are experiencing increased growth, we have high-density neighborhoods, a place to live, are experiencing rest. To ensure that the community we value here in Aurora is protected, your mayor and council have to take a proactive leadership role and develop the best possible solutions by listening respectfully to all those who truly commit to an exchange of ideas. These would be made for Aurora solutions, not made for the mayor quick fixes. The core value of our community is under attack. Aurora's reputation throughout York Region and the GTA has become tarnished. As the headline that Peter referred to in the Toronto Star last September asked, is Aurora losing its aura? We've witnessed community volunteer groups fighting with each other rather than cooperating with each other. Our council has become embroiled in expensive, needless legal battles against themselves, against staff, and against community stakeholders, their integrity challenged. We are losing our ability to manage our growth through the OMB, the Ontario Municipal Board, because council simply refuses to work with the developers who are developing the infrastructure, building the infrastructure for our community, but the future. Your council must be Aurora's champion, promoting our community vision to the region and to the province. Your council must have a strong, persuasive voice, born of collaboration. The vision for our community must be one that we all feel that we have a stake in. We cannot allow others to make decisions that affect Aurora. That's what we have to do. We do it together as a community. We have seen a council that no longer feels accountable to the citizens that elected them. We've been appalled by the misuse of our tax dollars. Tax dollars being used to fight personal political battles. rather than focusing on the agenda for the citizens of Aurora. We've been embarrassed by the public bickering on council, by the offensive use of not one, but two integrity commissioners to silence the opposing view of a duly elected representative of this community. We have mourned the departure of virtually every senior member of the town staff. There is collective loss of memory, there is a loss of experience there. They're appalling situations. We were shocked when only 17 months into the term of council, a councillor felt compelled to resign because of the dysfunctional behavior of that council. And to highlight that dysfunctional behavior, council chose to appoint someone as opposed to having an election, a by-election that the citizens of this town demanded. 2.5 years left on the term, we'll just appoint someone of our own. We have seen our tax dollars wasted on fights against developers who are merely trying to follow the legislative process as laid out for them by the official plan. This is unacceptable. It is time for a new type of politics in Aurora. Politics which are based on collaboration, not self-serving cronyism. Politics based on respect, not personal attacks. And politics based on accountability, not dictatorship. Aurora requires a leadership that has not been demonstrated by our current mayor. Aurora deserves a new type of leadership. A leader who is focused on the issues, not opponents. A leader who brings out the best in people, not bullies them. A leader who demands that you, the voters, hold them accountable rather than someone who wants to play fast and loose with the rules as they like to define them. A leader who gets things done, who puts productivity over profile. I am that leader. I offer Aurora strong and responsive leadership. Leadership that will nurture trust and mutual respect. Leadership that will garner respect at the region and the province. Leadership that works with differing points of view so that we can develop a vision for our community together. Leadership that puts people and principles before politics. I have the proven leadership experience to deliver on those promises. The type of politics that we have seen in Aurora over the last 4 years will not give us the Aurora that we need, will not give us the Aurora we deserve. And that's an Aurora that we can be proud to call our own. I believe that a good leader looks at their world and says, it does not have to be like this, and then feels compelled to change it. I believe that strong leaders are developed through an accumulation of life experiences. And I believe that effective leaders have a robust business insight and participate constructively in their community. These are qualities that must be applied. These are qualities that must be applied in the position of mayor. With your help, we can revitalize our community Leicester, return accountability to our politicians, build in the type of leadership culture that Aurora that brings out the best in each of us. It's time for a new type of politics in Aurora. If you want Aurora to be a town that you can be proud of, you need to have a mayor and a council that you can be proud of. My name is Geoff Dawe, and on October the 25th, I would very much appreciate your support as mayor of Aurora. Thank you very much.